Hello, it's time for another video. Today I would like to tap on judgment or resistance towards the here and now. Or more precisely, my impression that judging and resistance have their own energy that I can reduce and de-stress with tapping. In my last video I talked about a part of me which I call the inner terrier. The inner terrier is that part that gets activated when I come across something that I don't like and which I ultimately judge. And it's that thought carousel that produces all that anger and agitation and all this. And I had tapped on this anger, which was good because there was quite a bit of that in my system. But even though I was more relaxed afterwards, I also had the impression that my inner terrier was still active and that my thought carousel was still running. So I sat down again and tried to really tune into what's happening and felt that the judgment and resistance, those triggers that activate the inner terrier, come with their own energy. It's more subtle and less loud in a way than the anger, for example, which is why it was good that I tapped on the anger beforehand. But then I discovered a sensation like an inner tension or in cringing in my chest, and like with a quality as if high voltage electricity was involved. So whatever, I mean, this is different for everybody. So I would like to encourage you to find out for yourself how that feels for you. And if you have difficulty feeling that, just in a second tap along anyway, maybe it gets clearer after a round or so of tapping. And if not, I'm sure you'll be benefiting from the tapping anyway, because it just reduces stress no matter what. Yeah, and like in the last video, I would like to tap with looking at the outside and looking at what's going on around us. Because I think the more relaxed I can look at this chaos outside, the better for myself and my immediate surroundings. And I also just half an hour ago read this statement that, feeling as good as possible, no matter what the outside circumstances, is also a form of empowerment and getting your own power back. And this all does not mean that I'm condoning anything, and I still can do what I can to change my surroundings for the better. But staying in constant anger and agitation and stress is just harmful for me, my surroundings and my body. Anyway, I suggest we just tap on this a little bit. One last reminder, if you've never tapped before, please refer to my demo session here, where I explain more about the process. So if you're thinking about something that triggers you, that really pisses you off, try to feel if you can discern between the energy of the impulse, the trigger, or the following results like anger and agitation. How does that impulse feel like? Can you feel it in your body? How would you describe it? Does it have a shape? Does it have a color? Do you perceive something else, some other images, optical impressions, or sounds, voices, other sensations? Please note them as precisely as possible and feel free to pause the video if you have to. The more details you have, the better it is, because you can use your own words instead of mine. Because for a session, the more personalized it is, the better it is. With all the details now that you have, how intense is the package? How intense is this tension, or whatever this sensation is? Just jot it down on a scale from 1 to 10. No need to overthink it. Whatever number comes up, just write it down. We'll come back to that later. All right. Let's start with the tapping. We start at the so-called karate chop, and we're doing some setup phrases. As I've done before, I start with saying some fragments of sentences, and you repeat those fragments, loudly or silently, whatever fits your situation right now. Even though I feel all this resistance towards the here and now, towards what I see in the outside, on the news, in the social media and such. I accept myself as much as possible right now. Even though I feel all the stress and tension when I think about what's happening and feel it clearly in my body. Where do you feel it? Fill in the blank. I still accept myself as much as possible right now. And I might be even open to release it as much as possible too. Even though all this resistance really does a number on me. And I really feel that stress in my body. I accept myself as much as possible right now. And I choose to let go as much as possible. Okay, we go through the points. All this judgment. All this energy that the trigger has. This tension or whatever it is for you. I feel it in my body. I clearly feel it in my body. It's intense. It feels like, fill in the blank. All this chaos. All my thoughts. It all really affects me. All the ways it affects me. All this tension. This tension from judging and resisting. All this resistance towards what is. All this trigger energy. I feel it in my body. All right, let's take a short break. If you have water handy, please take a sip or two. It helps with the process. Also, what happened? First of all, if you found yourself yawning, tearing up, whatever else, like hiccups, I think, is that the word? Stuff like that, it's a sign that energy is moving. So it's pretty much a sign that it's working. So that's good. Other than that, how was it? Maybe even that round triggered some more resistance towards releasing this judgment, and maybe even more stress came up. You know, judging is a function of the ego, and it's quite likely that it will not want to give it up that easily. And it will create this inner conflict between wanting to distress, but also, you know, wanting to keep judging. I hope we can release this conflict as well. I will add a few lines of this inner conflict for the next round too. So even if the ego didn't interfere, it's actually still quite possible that your intensity level did rise a little bit. This can happen if we look at things that we haven't looked at before, and all this attention might make it feel like you know, it's getting more stressful. Just repeat this round if that's the case for you, and if your stress level that you jotted down, you know, your number between 1 and 10. If that went down for like a third or so, then we can go into another round now. All the stress. When I look at the chaos outside, and I rightfully judge this bullshit that is happening right now, I will not give up judging this. Yet I would like to feel better too. It's a conflict. I am right to judge this crap. I mean, it really, really sucks right now. And it creates a lot of stress. all this tension, all this agitation. Man, it sucks. I'm right to judge, but it just doesn't feel good. It's just so much stress. What if it was okay to let go of the stress? What if I can allow myself to let go of the stress, as much as possible at least? I can still be a good citizen and do the best I can. I can still be part of the change. I just don't have to be in constant anger and agitation. Which will be so much more which will be so much nicer for my environment. Maybe actually it is taking my power back if I just feel better no matter what. Maybe it's a form of resistance too. No matter what you throw at me, I am more relaxed than you think. It's worth a thought. All right. I'm just concerned about how I feel right now. Letting go of the stress actually feels good. Although there's still crap out there. It definitely is. But releasing all this feels so much better though. I still can work on making my society a better place. But I also can let go of all the stress. It's actually a service to my body too, to my health, to my immune system. All that stuff that's going on. Slowly letting it go. Just as much as possible. Step by step. Letting it go. All right, let's take a break again. Again, if you have water handy, just take a sip or two. And again, how was it? Did anything change? Maybe some other things came up. And, just handle it the way we did it before. Just write down what comes up for you, what kind of sensations are there, what kind of sentences come into your mind, and just tap on them. Just read them out loud. You can make a list, you can read them all out loud. Or you can even write a letter to a friend or as if you would read your diary and you can tap while reading your diary. But also if you think like this goes into the right direction but doesn't necessarily reflect on my experience entirely, I'll just invite you to contact me and we can see if we can do a one-on-one session. Because within the session I can really tailor the process to your needs. I use my experience and also my intuition with coming up with the right sentences for you. And you of course help me as well. So it's really a beautiful and powerful thing to do, actually, to work one-on-one. Also, of course, if you know other people who do that, feel free to contact them as well. Yeah. Let's do a last round. All the stress that is left. All this tension in my body. And there's still tension left. Fill in the blank, where is it? All the ways I'm stressed right now. Maybe I can let it go. Even though my ego is not quite on board yet. I can let it go for now. I can just judge later. Just for now, I'm letting it go. All the stress. I choose to let go right now. I choose to be as relaxed as possible. Because it does help me with making good decisions, with creative problem solving, with staying healthy, with staying present in my surroundings. I choose to let go as much as possible. I choose calm. I choose peace. I choose to be the change that I want to see. I choose peace. Just for now. I choose more and more peace, as much as I can. And if there's still stress, then there's still stress. I can still choose as much peace as possible. It's the power that I have. Choosing peace inside, no matter what. And it's also the middle finger that I can show the outside world. No matter what you present me, I feel peaceful anyway. Isn't that nice? Right? I choose peace. Just as much as possible. I let go of this tension. Letting go of this tension. As much as I can. I choose peace. All right. How was that? Again, please, look at what you've accomplished right now. How did things change? How much did you drop? How much did your levels drop? Your stress levels. And please feel free to repeat as much as possible. One session will not resolve your stress and anger for a long time. But I think with practice it will be easier, to go to relax. But also the time span of being relaxed will also expand. So I just invite you to repeat this as much as possible. Again, I hope it worked for you. Yeah. Other than that, thanks for watching. Thanks for making it this far. Kudos. And I'm pretty sure I'll see you soon. Bye bye.